first tell us about uh, how you got involved with the music scene as an audience. When
As
did
an
you start
audience.
getting into music?
I've been attending rock shows since like what, about 1980 or even prior maybe. Right from the time I was in my, I think, 11th, 12th time. Uh, we used to attend Mudai at that point of time. And those days, the school fete used to be like a proper rock show and stuff, rock band. So we used to attend all that. So that's how I started.
And how did you get involved in music as a musician?
As a musician, yes, I've learned tabla in my childhood. When I was like what, 7 years old. So about 4 or 5 years I learned tabla. And after that, I kind of started taking a liking to Western music. And I like the sound of guitar. I think the first rock band I heard was Deep Purple. So I really fell for what Richie Blackmore used to play. That kind of majorly influenced me to pick up the guitar. And that's when I started.
And so when this is you like get straight.
No, that's habituated. Okay.
So when did you get involved in a band, and what are the bands that you played for? What has the evolution been like?
See, I got involved in the band. I formed my first band, which is called Witch Hammer. It was, I think, in the late 89, 89, 90s. So that was the first band that I. But before that, I had formed one or two bands before, which didn't last very long. Nothing much to talk about that. It was just the beginning stages, you know how it is. Like to get a steady band, it takes a little while. You first experiment on getting screwed, getting bottles on stage, having bad shows, and then you move on to forming a better band. So Vicharma, yes, of course, was my first real good band. And we were all over the place. We formed in late 89, I think, 90, 89, 90. We played till about 93. So we did very happening shows. We used to do only metal, only heavy. Like only Metallica, Iron Maiden, Megadeth, that was heavy.
After that, which other bands have you played?
No, no other band. After that, it was Vayu in 97. I haven't played with many bands. So there was a little gap. Actually, in '93, I quit music for about 4 years. I didn't touch the guitar. So I didn't touch it literally. For 4 years, I was out of the circuit. I used to be working in an ad agency. So I got back to music in '97. That's when I formed Vayu, which is now quote unquote called Paravat.
So, can you tell us something about Witch Hammer? Because we heard from a lot of people and they are surprised by know that you were a member of Witch Hammer.
Okay.
So what was Witch Hammer all about, and
Oh,
who were the other members?
we were like what? There was Rahul Cardoza on vocals. Rahul actually was a brother of a very close friend of mine from my school. I was in All India Good Council, SAN. And he happens to be a younger brother to one of my friends from school. A very good singer, very high pitched vocalist. Choir singer and all that. So, his range and all was like amazing. So we were like really good at Iron Maiden and Deep Purple, Judas. We used to do Judas Priest and all that. Then of course, both of us then we were scouting around for musicians and stuff. And then there was Harish Mehta who was managing us. Harish Mehta was supposed to be our singer, but he couldn't sing to save his life, so he became a manager. So, which was of course all a fair understanding between us. So, because he's a Sindhi, so you need a Sindhi brain to manage a band. And so we both kind of started scouting around for musicians, and then that's when Paresh came into the scene. We met Paresh, then we met JD, the bassist, and then we had another drummer earlier, who was Firoz Patel, and after some point, then Lindsay joined us. Then it was Lindsay on drums, JD on bass, me and Paresh on guitar, Rahul on vocals. And that's how the whole band came up. And we were like, we had some, I mean, I get goosebumps when I think about this show. Stage diving and headbanging. I think we were probably the only band who used to actually headbang and perform on stage. There was no other band at that point of time who used to like really kind of, headbang while they're playing. Now, of course, there are many bands. But those days, we were, I think, probably one of the only bands who used to literally headbang continuously throughout the 2 hour gig or 1 hour gig. The next 1 week we used to be bedridden without stiff neck. That was me. That was a show in BJ Medical Grounds in Pune, 1991.
It's a drastic.
Then later Naresh Rahul left and Naresh joined us as vocalist. But now he's playing bass with Kailash here. Naresh is also playing with Kailash.
Okay, tell us about the evolution of Vayu. What?
Yeah, Vayu, was formed in '97, but things have been like really slow with the band. Because there were many reasons. First of all, the other guys were all working, and they were. I mean, I was the only one who was into full-time music and stuff. So things got little, delayed in terms of our original composition. So then, there came about. Then we just ended up doing covers most of the time, and of course, we were good at what we played. Musicians were good, but then there was no kind of progress as such in terms of our growth and in terms of our original composition. And it did take quite a while. But then now, of course, we released our album Wings of a Dream, which was after very long. And there's been a recent split now last year. So our vocalist, prior vocalist, is no more with us. I kind of what I did was I just changed the whole. Well, I had a lot of music in me which I wanted to, come out with. And I wanted like-minded musicians who would experiment along with me. But I really couldn't do all that before. So maybe things happen for the better. Whatever. I always believe in like if some things don't work out, it's always for the better. Because if something doesn't happen, something good is in store. So I guess now things are quite sorted. Now we call ourselves Panavan. And right now there is no genre that we're sticking to. We may do metal, we may do jazz, we may do fusion, we may do rock, or punk, group stuff, whatever. So very open. We even do pop.
Terracotta Cottage was your band. Right?
Terracotta. Yeah, Terracotta is a fusion band.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, I did form, but the thing is, again, that kind of didn't take off as I expected it to. So, for different reasons, in terms of the music and all that, not like really going the way I wanted it. So I kind of put that on stall for now. And I have some things in mind maybe once that materializes. Because I wanted to do an extension of Rocking Ragas, the album, the solo fusion album which I produced. And I wanted to, kind of revive that and maybe add some more fusion stuff. But yes, I will do it eventually. At the moment, Paravayu is what is taking up all the time and stuff. So, focusing on one thing.
You've been trained in Indian classical.
Tabla.
Yeah. So do you see a lot of influence of that coming into the compositions of Vayu?
Yeah, very much. In fact, now I am able to get all that. Earlier, I was not able to. But because now, even all the members that we have are very open to, taking each other's ideas and come up with a unique sound and style and stuff. So a lot of my influences of the classical stuff also I'm able to bring it into the rock.
Okay. So, can you tell us about what the biggest problems were when you started off in the late 80s, then the 90s? What is the evolution of the rock scene been?
See, the whole music has reached another level now from what it was. See, earlier what used to happen was everything was very narrowed down. Genres were narrowed down. audience were narrowed down. Like a classic rock guy wouldn't mix with a metal guy. It was so bad. A metal guy would not mix with a classic guy. So it was like very narrowed. But then now the whole genre thing has like really, you know, revolutionized the whole thing. So that way, those days, yeah, I mean, it was not so open. You know, everybody had their space. Everybody had that kind of music and stuff. But now it's all opened up. There are more musicians now. A lot of youngsters are turning out to be almost on a professional level. Right at the age where when I was at that age, I mean, I didn't even know what a stage looked like or what is it like to be on stage. These guys are doing professional shows right when they are in college. You know, so which is like a great thing. But one thing I'd like to say is the musicians of those days had a little bit more of passion and commitment towards what they perform. Whereas now everybody is out to prove something. Everyone is into the proving thing. So that I guess kind of it makes the music a little too what you call mechanical. Soul is missing. Of course, there's a lot of good music in it. But somehow I feel the soul is missing. There are very few bands, youngsters of nowadays who perform have that soul in them.
Can you give some examples?
Uh, well, I think I mean I can't I don't know the names of the band because I've judged in Malhar and I've judged in the fusion competition of Malhar also. I'm just talking about many of those bands, those college bands, the young college bands, who who really have that soul when they perform and they're very nice at what they do. But then there are many others who are like performing all over the place and stuff. They might be playing for some 45 bands, but it's all too mechanical. It's like almost like they're just doing their duty just because they know how to play. So I guess that little thing is missing. Of course, now the internet is there and so a lot of exposure is there. It's easy to learn things. Whatever you want, you get it on the net. When we used to play, when we used to watch a VHS of a concert, like a Deep Purple concert, even if we could see a Fender Stratocaster on that, like our day used to be made. We were like, oh wow, I saw American Strat. It was so bad. I mean, imagine it that the value of that was so much. I couldn't even dream of even like touching an American Strat. It was that way. And we used to get these video cassettes of Aussie Osbourne shows and Richie Blackmore shows. We used to hire VCRs to watch. The college guys used to, meet together and watch these rock shows throughout the day. We used to hire a VCR for 24 hours and we used to watch rock shows. Some guy would have a VHS. We used to bounce on him, get the cassette, and watch it. Or maybe even transfer it onto our VHS. Get two VCRs, record them. I don't know, God knows what. It was like I mean, watching these shows and watching an American Strat or a Gibson just on TV was like as if it was there. But it was so rare. Now, of course, everything is available. We used to work out songs on Walkmans on the tape. All every single song that I worked out earlier has all been on a Walkman. And invariably, the tape used to get stuck. To remove the tape, used to rewind it with a pencil or a finger. And just when the most difficult part used to come, that thing would get stuck. And this is how we used to work out. Now I'm amazed. I mean, you have this all these guitar pros and blah blah blah. This low down speed and I don't know what tabs and all that.
Uh, what were the other problems that you faced back then?
Other problems, whatever we face, we are still facing now. Money. There's no money in the rocks. So that problem is very common. It's like a long-standing thing, I guess. I don't know when it's going to change. I think I'm really sad to say the figures that we used to talk about that time, we are still talking about those figures only. Imagine 20 years have passed by, and whenever there's a show coming up, the organizers or whoever is putting up a rock talks about the same figure that I think I have come across at that time. It's really bad because everything has increased. All the rates have increased. All the prices have gone up. But the rock band prices have not. The rock bands have gone up. There are many rock bands, dime and a dozen. But the rates are the same as what it was 20 years back. It's like the Indian jail, following the same rule of the British rule. It's really sad.
Which were the biggest bands when you started?
Among the Indian bands,
Yeah.
there was Rock Machine, who we used to idol. We were good friends with them also. We performed with them. Then there was 1380 from Cochin. Three man, what up, man? It was like absolutely kick-ass. And there was a band called Hammersmith from Ahmedabad. There were three guys. Again, absolutely amazing. Exodus. There was Sabertooth. Sabertooth used to do only animation. And Exodus was very good at Deep Purple and Motorhead and all that. I mean, we've been attending their shows before even I started playing guitar. You know? And then, of course, in 85 I started. Then, of course, we got to know them and stuff. We have done shows with them. Crisis, there was Crisis. Rock Covenant. There was another band called Rock Covenant. And they were all, I mean, all of them were tight. Very good bands. Very good caliber.
Uh, uh, which was the biggest competition? Are they still the same competition?
Same competition. We have played IROC. We did IROC at that point of time. But that time IROC didn't have any competition. The only guest bands. Proper professional shows. And it used to be amazing. Lines used to go to Metro. People used to be in the line. And Mudai used to be there. We played, performed in Mudai that time also, as a guest band. And I think the college competitions are the same. Nothing new has come. Malar, everything is new.
So, can you tell us about can you when you're playing for Vayu, can you tell us about one or two incidents that you remember, good or bad?
Something that you know would like to tell.
No, I think we haven't had any bad memories as such. uh, But I think Mudai was a show to remember for us. And IIT Guwahati. We performed in Guwahati. This was, I guess, 2003. Oh man, what a show! It was an outdoor show, like mountains around. It was freezing cold. We performed there for almost 3 hours continuously in the night, and we were sweating on stage. I'll never forget that in that cold. So that was, I think, one of our most rocking shows we ever had.
You are probably one of the best known judges currently.
No, I don't know why why is this the thing termed as the best known or first of all I don't know why everyone calls me first. I really don't know. And I mean I don't want to be. It's not like I'm like one well-known judge or whatever. But I don't know why you're saying that. Can you elaborate?
Uh,
Why is
I'm just saying that you're there almost every second competition. You're the judge for every second.
yeah, so many other musicians at every other competition. I think.
No, but so what I'm asking is, what have you seen are the changes as a judge
Huh.
in the quality of the bands across in the last few years?
There have been improvements, definitely. Bands have changed. Now, whatever the last 2 3 years I've been judging, there have been loads of improvement in the bands. Now everyone knows what is professional play. In fact, nowadays, I think the last couple of competitions I judged, it was almost like on a professional level. It was like watching a show. I told them, I said, I don't know why you guys call judge because they're all professionals. There's no point in calling it a competition anymore. You can just have it a show, right? Have a college show and call these bands and let them perform. Where is that good? So there are bad bands. You can't help that. Of course, not that everyone is, but the number of good bands are increasing now slowly. That is my reading. And the music also. I mean, all the bands are willing to kind of improve on their performance as well as the sound, and they're trying to come up with something new. They're really doing their best, and it's showing.
You have been
Sorry. No?
you have been teaching guitars as well.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of students.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I know at least 5 or 6 guitarists who have been your students and are now in band.
Bands, yeah.
So, what do what do you feel when you see your student up on stage?
I love it. I mean, I'm really happy about that. There are many of them. 5 or 6 is an understatement.
I just know.
Yeah, you
five
know
or
them.
six.
In fact, I mean, I would love to post about this. I think
Yeah,
there will
so
be
that
at
was
least
good.
15 to 20 of them performing in bands, not only here, even abroad.
Okay.
Because those who go abroad to study, they also have formed bands over there, and they've been performing there. And I really feel great. I really feel nice. And so that means it shows that okay, I mean, actually whatever I'm teaching, is working, and
Yeah.
people are gaining out of it. And it's not that at the end of the day, it's a waste of time for them also and for me too. So it really feels good. And they are rocking, man, and some of them, they're all over the place. It's great.
Uh, there has been a lot of growth of pubs and pubs and
Yeah,
clubs.
lounge bar.
Yeah, which where bands can
Yeah.
perform live. So do you see this helping the music scene?
See, it all depends on which pub you play. You need to be a little, selective about the kind of pubs where you want to play. And of course, it does help because it gives a lot of exposure and stuff. But a lot of times, like you have this rocking show, and there are some of these drunkards, the rich drunkard dudes who come, hey man, you guys are awesome, and you've got to be playing here, you've got to be playing in Florida, and you've got to be playing blah blah blah. Nothing happens after that. Right? All forgotten. So it's like that. So what happens is just on spur of the moment, they all get drunk, they all make merry, and then they all. So things like these also happen. But there are a lot of other good places where people really come to listen to serious music, and at least from there you move on, you get other opportunities from there. So it does help. It does definitely help. But as I said, it depends where you play and what is the kind of audience that you get. So it all depends on that.
The last question from me is, what are the future plans for Parabai?
Paravai is nothing. I mean, I guess just better to take it by the day. And we we have completed, I think, around 20 originals in 1 month. And the last 10 years, we did only 2 originals with Wali. So that's the rate of comparison that I would give. So, which is, I guess, a good sign for the future. 20 originals in a month is not bad, I guess. So that's
What?
Yeah,
thinking. Wait.
yeah. Sorry, I can slip from my
Yeah.
mind. At times when you are judging competitions, there have been moments where bands have played, and sometimes even I have personally felt, I'm not saying no, that you have judged a metal band too harshly because of your rock inclination. So what do you want to say
So
about
this is please, I think just focus on this point
Yeah.
and not on the name, because a lot of guys, the youngsters, are getting it all wrong. What they think is just because I play for value and I do classic rock, I don't like metal. It's not like that. I love metal. I have grown up on metal. I have no issues with heavy metal or death metal also. I love death metal. I have heard Napalm Death, I have heard Obituary, I have heard Testament. We have grown on this music, trust me, as youngsters. It's just that, as I told you, in Vayu, the whole image of Vayu, not because of me, but because of the other members, it has been portrayed as a classic rock, classic rock, classic rock, and only purple and only. So everyone has got this impression out of it. It's not my personal take. And I'm not the type because I have grown on metal. I love metal. And I have people have a phobia the moment they see me. At least the metal bands and the metal audience, when they see me, they start getting a phobia. That oh, Ravi Iyer has come. He's into classic rock now. He will not accept metal. I fuck him. This is an absolute rubbish phobia that people, the youngsters and the college guys and the metal audience and the bands have got only because of our band image that has come up till now. If I would have been in the place, I would have never, created that kind of an image for the band. It's not like that. My take is, see, there are a lot of metal bands who are tight. My take is, if you play heavy metal or death metal, play it tight. When what happens, most of the metal bands, unfortunately, are not able to deliver the kind of sound that a proper heavy metal or a death metal band needs. So obviously they're going to lose on that. My only thing is, well, if you play metal or death metal, then man, you should be so tight that just kick it. It's got to be like right there. And most of the youngsters, what happens is they are all so flabbergasted by this whole idea of fucking heavy metal and death metal. They just get into that king of moshing and banging or whatever it is, but then they forget the playing part of it. When they solo, nothing, no leads are heard. It's not clear, and most of the times, they miss all because it's all speed playing. So if you're playing metal and all that, your speed playing better be like there was a band in IIT from Bangalore this year, Slane or someone. You must have seen them how tight they were. They also did metal. They were not some soft band or classic rock or something.
Yeah.
They did hardcore metal. Look at the way they played. But they were so tight here. And there are even the band from Pune, the Wayne who plays guitar, Chinky guy,
Brute force. Brute force.
Brute Force, yeah. They are tight. I mean, when I first saw them, I remembered our days when we used to, you should have seen Vijayama perform. Unfortunately, you guys, I mean, I don't have any videos also. Whatever I had, there was one VHS, some jerk took it, never returned it back. So I have no footages. We had footages of our shows. And should I can't tell you how tight our rhythm section is. We used to do Master Puppets, we used to do Whiplash, we used to do Jump in the Fire, Am I Evil, we used to do Moonchild, we used to do Power Slave, we used to do Peace Sells Who's Buying, we used to do Symphony of Destruction, we used to do Holy Wars, Flash of a Blade, Iron Maiden, Flash of a Blade. Then we even attempted Seven Son of the Seventh Son. We even attempted Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I mean, I don't think there's any song that we have not played or tried. Back in the Village. We played Back in the Village of Iron Maiden. We have done Judas Priest. We have done Touch of Evil. We have done Free Wheel Burning. Name the song and we have done it. So I actually know how a death metal band or a heavy metal band should perform. Actually, if you go to see, I have full authority to at least proclaim that I know what is the sound that is required, what is the tightness that is required. Unfortunately, most of the metal bands, first of all, they are so big. There's some 6 members, 7 members, and they all try to make noise. And at the end of the day, the whole tightness goes, and that is where the whole problem is. So if another punk band or another little softer music band who comes, but they play tight and clean, and they're very organized in their playing, the compositions are nice. Obviously, they're bound to win. Then again, well, it's a vicious circle. Then it comes boils down to again, oh, Ravi Iyer like classic rock, that is why he chose them. It becomes like that. So it's a very unfortunate thing which is really not in my hands or with the audience. I don't blame them also. I don't blame you all, whatever, because obviously the perception is going to be that. But man, I need a good death metal band. Like, for example, even when Demonic Resurrection was playing, I think they're clean and tight. The sound is clean. There's like a nice balance of the whole. You can feel that thump and stuff like that. But many of the metal bands, it's a chaos here. My only grudge is that. But why can't you play a metal song like the way it is? Like really tight and your chops have to be like, bang on there. Then the whole thing really stands out. Then you start enjoying it and it's like really clean and nice. But they spend too much time in focusing on the other things like the attitude and the trying to like stand in a particular way and the guitar will be like way below your dick. You're not able to play. You're not playing, then after that. What is the sound? Ultimately, the music should be like, it should communicate something. And it should be, now, now, so the band, there were a couple of very nice metal bands, even that Muna also I saw. They were like really good. Even that band from Darjeeling,
I forgot their name. Yeah.
yeah, look at the way they played, man. They were pretty close, but they were very nice. Some of the bands from Northeast and all that solution. Our Bombay band should learn how the Northeast bands perform metal. When the Northeast bands perform metal and death metal, they do it like absolutely bang on. Their sound, their clarity, everything is like really nice. So please, I mean, it's a humble request from my side. Please remove these mind blocks, amongst all the youngsters or the college guys. Trust me, I swear on God, I've lived on metal and I've grown up on metal. I've done metal. So it's just that, like, my expectations of a good metal band is not met yet. Maybe like very rarely one or two bands really come across. So I have nothing to do. I mean, I'm nothing against my genre at all. It's just that my request is just play it well. That's all. Play it clean and nice. Metal can, I mean, the rhythms and the picking and all that, you can kill somebody, man. It has to be played that way. Like, so tight. So they are all bhar, bhi, bhar, and first. I can only and then no clarity in the, it's too much of noise. But though I feel the band should reduce. If you want to do good death metal and heavy metal, keep it like small. At the most two guitar players, or have a combination of one guitar player and a keyboardist if you're having a death metal sound. Like how Demonic does. That's pretty nice. Like you have a keyboardist and a guitarist. So you have that big sound. Or have just two guitar players, one bassist, the drummer and vocalist. Sometimes there are three guitar players, and then then there's a keyboard. After two guitarists, then there's a keyboardist also. They think by adding instrument you can make the sound more heavy, but it's not that. It's on your playing. You play it heavy. Even one guy can make the sound as heavy as you want. If you choose the right patch and the right sound. One drummer and one guitar player also can create that heaviness. So it's just that. I mean, try to make it clean. That's all I'm saying.
Over the years, with Witchhammer, I do not know much about the band, so I'm asking this. Has Witchhammer performed out of cities from
Out
Bombay?
of city, no, not out of India.
No, out of Bombay.
Bombay, yes.
Out of
We played in Goa. We used to play in Goa then. That time, Pune, we played lots. That point of time. We were supposed to play in Delhi, but the Babri Masjid was broken down that year.
Oh, the night.
So we couldn't go. In fact, our show and Parikrama, we both were supposed to perform at Delhi, at what is the grounds famous?
हम सरोजनी
No,
प्रगति मैदान
Pragati Maidan. Yeah. We were supposed to perform there. And everything had been confirmed, and just we came to know that these guys are going to break down the Babi Masjid and all that, and they were expecting trouble, and we decided not to go. I don't think that show happened also because of all that chaos. And if you would have gone there, we would have got stuck because that date was very close. I think it was the next day or something like that. So it didn't happen. But yeah, Pune and Goa was mainly our venues. We didn't play South that time.
Even with Vayu and with Witchhammer, that is, over the years, what do you see the changes in the audience? As from a musician's point of view, what changes do you see? As in over the years, not just Bombay, I'm talking about the
Overall, yeah, no, the audience has definitely improved a lot now. At least they're open for originals and stuff.
Yeah.
I tell you, I come from a school where we used to even mention the word original and there used to be bottles on stage. and we used to get booed. Even Rock Machine and us, all the big bands who were there at that point of time, who were trying to do original, could not do, man. Only Rock Machine succeeded towards the later stages with their album Rock and Roll Renegade and all. People started accepting their songs and but still nobody had patience. One original and that's it. Nobody could take another original back to back. You have to play at least another 7 covers, then slightly, push in the original. It was very bad. Even we started with our originals. Nobody was willing to accept. It was very bad. And the whole morale, I mean, then the whole original thing, just got crushed because of this attitude. So we actually come from that period, So it took for us also. It takes a lot of time to understand the change. That okay, now people are really looking forward for originals and all that. So which is like such a nice thing. But it's like it's like this. When a poor guy who can't afford anything suddenly gets a house and a bungalow, you're lost. You don't know what to do. So suddenly something very nice is happening, but at that point he's confused. So now what do I do with so much of space and so much of?
Yeah.
It's like that. When a poor gets rich suddenly overnight, then they are confused. So which is what is happening to our generation guys. We all get confused suddenly. Like what is happening? So but we're very happy that at least now people are open to. In fact, that time there were some bands who have done some fantastic originals. If they would have released it now, man, I'm telling you, it would have been a big hit. There were a couple of albums which were released and nobody bothered. Nobody bothered. Nobody wants to hear originals. It just got wasted. But anyway, never too late. Things always look up.
You think if these bands that you just mentioned that who release stuff, if they
Re-release.
re-release,
They should. They should.
Yeah.
I feel they should.
this
Because
is a message for them.
yes, this is a message for them because there have been many albums at that point of time which were released which have got totally unnoticed because of the audiences. Nobody was open. They when you play a Deep Purple, man, they wanted the lead A to lead Z the way it is. One mistake you make and they used to boo. If the singer makes one mistake in the screams of Iron Maiden, if he changes or improvises, he's fucked. Audience used to screw that. You did not scream like that one scream which was there. That's it. And they charge on the singer while he's performing. And then fuck you, perform, all that stuff. Imagine, I mean, you're not allowed to improvise. You have to play the way the whole thing is. So they should feel as if they are watching Deep Purple. See, what happens, why the change is because at that point of time, people could not see Deep Purple. But today you can see Deep Purple. That's why we have woken up now and then we say, fine, we want originals. Because at that point of time, no one could watch Deep Purple, no one could watch Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. It was out of the question. Unless somebody goes to Delhi and buys a VHS from that, what market is that? Palika Bazaar. I have a Ingrid Malmsteen video cassette bought from Palika Bazaar. That was like one prized possession. I've kept it in a jewelry box. Like somebody used to buy it, used to be like a big thing for us. So those days nobody could see the original bands. So what used to happen when we play, they used to expect us to perform exactly like the original so that they get that satisfaction of watching people. So you can't blame them also. It was the state of affairs at that point of time. So obviously that's why maybe they expected like note to note it should be the same and note to note screen should be the same, so they don't miss out on what they hear at home on the album CD. But now if you want to watch Deep Purple, you can watch on YouTube. You can get video CDs. I mean, any international band you can watch now. So obviously now there's nothing great about performing a Deep Purple the way it is or Scorpions the way it is. So obviously that has changed. So it's all a it's all full circle concept. You can't blame them also to a certain extent.
Uh, I this is the time that I realized that we haven't asked this question to many people. Uh, you know, can you tell us how exactly when you guys were there, that is Witch Hammer, how was the approach for getting shows and getting to play live?
Yeah, at that time it was mainly you need to. It was a lot of legwork, loads of legwork. Go and meet people, organizers, and stuff. Because there was no medium of advertising at all. It was very bad. So only medium of advertising was newspapers. That too after you're confirmed to play for a show. You know. So then okay, one paper ad used to come. There used to be hoardings. There were a lot of hoardings that time. All shows used to be advertised on hoardings all over the city. So hoardings was big. So people driving and going, hey man, they used to see find the shows happening. Hoardings were all over the place. But to get that show, there was a lot of legwork. You had to find out, who's arranging what shows and maybe through contacts and people who know you. It was quite bad.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
that's our point. Like,
Yeah.
because if you said that you guys played at Pune and
Yeah.
Goa also, that's huge.
Yeah, because
during
then-
that time,
That is because they must have seen us at some college show.
okay,
And they must have come there and then they like the band, then they try to get in touch with you. Or then and there, like we used to have a visiting card and all that. So,
okay.
so we used to give the visiting card to them and they used to contact us.
Even the concept of telephone at that time was rare.
Yeah,
if I'm not
there was no
mistaken.
mobiles and all that.
Yeah, obviously.
It was only landline.
Landline,
Yeah.
yeah.
So only visiting cards. So whoever used to like our performance from that, they used to come and talk to us after the show. And then I'll tell her, okay, so and so shows happening, are you interested? We have played in SP college also.
SPJ.
Yeah, no, SP, Sardar Patel,
Assessor.
that quadrangle. This was at that time. So we have performed there also. We have played for the Sasmira Institute at Worli. Can you imagine they had a rock show? In their auditorium on top.
Okay.
Not auditorium, they have a hall. So Don Bosco Fair was the biggest at that
Bandra
time.
Fair.
Don Bosco School at Batola.
Okay.
They used to have proper rock shows and all that. Those days. So we used to play for all these fairs. Those days, now I remember. Now fairs used to be a main medium of shows. Like now you have college fairs mainly. Those days, fun fairs like the Don Bosco School Fair, the Victorian Fair. Then there was a fair happening at Kalina, what do you call them? Air India Colony. There used to be fairs over there, rock shows happening there. Then Tamil Church, Bandra, they used to have rock shows. Exodus, oh yeah, I forgot, there's another band called Bronze Axe, amazing band. They used to do Floyd, Deep Purple, Doors and all that. Beautiful band. So the Bronze Axe, Sabertooth, Exodus, these guys used to perform at these, we used to go to watch these shows as kids. Not kids, but college. Like, so these are the shows that used to happen. Fun fairs. But there were a lot of pop bands also used to come. Kimi, Hope, Joanna, and all that. That also used to happen. And rock shows also.
Can you tell us, like, lyrically, what inspires you, or musically, what inspires you to, make music?
Now, frankly, it's very diversified. So many, so much of music around.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to pinpoint something like. But of course, I like Hindustani classical music since I've learned tabla. That really inspires me a lot. The kind of chops that they have, the kind of breaks they have. And in rock, yes, I like a lot of jazz rock, not pure jazz, borderline jazz. Blues inspires me a lot. So I guess these are the kind of music that really inspire. Blues really inspire.
That's about it.
Anything else? I hope
Yeah.
I answered all your. And please, guys, I love metal. Please keep that in mind. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
That definitely goes in the document.
No, that's fine.
You will keep it on.
Yeah, you want us to remove it?
If there are too many, remove some. Give one or two at the right place.
Yeah.
You'll be editing now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Just see if something doesn't sound nice, then remove it.
You were saying.
Yeah. About this, the whole thing about metal bands around. At least I'm talking about Bombay. What has happened is the metal bands also need to kind of little adjust and compromise on their side also, and to safeguard their own interests so that they get to play more and at more venues by not getting into too much of attitude on stage or abusing the audiences, or for that matter abusing the organization or the college management and stuff like that. So what happens, all this put together then lends a bad taste to the college, to the institute. It lends a bad taste, to the institute and stuff. So obviously, then what happens? The college professors, they see all this, then they get scared, and then they are like, oh no, man, no metal, no metal. So this is what happens. At the end of the day, who's the loser? The loser is the metal band. The college is not the loser. Colleges can have 10 other bands. They'll call some fusion band or a soft band or some Hindi band, and their shows will go on. They are not losing anything. The losers are the metalheads. So my only request to all the metalheads is just keep certain protocol in mind and try to compromise on your act. Play your stuff, play your good music because all you guys are clean. It's not that every metal band is into dope or blah 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 and stuff. There are many metal bands I know who don't even smoke. So it's really nice. They're clean bands, absolutely. So which is very nice. They have no vices at all. So that's a very nice thing about them. And if they're playing heavy music, good music, just play it tight and nice and cut down on a little bit of your attitude while performing is yes, but I'm saying in terms of personal grudge against people and then trying to growl out your grudges to them, abusing them, or getting into fights and getting onto all these other things apart from the playing. Because as of now, most of the metal bands are frustrated because there are no venues to play because of these things. Because every venue has just kind of started, cancelling out metal bands because of these other things that are involved.